Hello and welcome back to Sam Chorus. Thanks for joining us again today. I am super excited to talk to you about blissful sleep and how you can connect with your divine self through blissful sleep. We're going to start today with a quote from Carl Jung, who is one of the foremost experts on the subconscious mind. And here's what he has to say. Dreams are the impartial, spontaneous products of the unconscious psyche outside the will of control. Key term there, outside the will of control. I love that. They are pure nature. They show us the unvarnished natural truth and are therefore fitted, as nothing else is, to give us back an attitude that accords with our basic human nature when our consciousness has strayed too far from its foundations and run into an impasse. I think this is really important, so I'm going to read it one more time. Dreams are the impartial, spontaneous products of the unconscious psyche outside the will of control. They are pure nature. They show us the unvarnished, natural truth and are therefore fitted, as nothing else is, to give us back an attitude that accords with our basic human nature when our consciousness has strayed too far from its foundations and run into an impasse. We're going to talk about exactly what that is in just a moment. Well, right now. What is this impasse? This impasse is your shadow, often referred to as your shadow. Your shadow is your soul shadow. This is the part of you that is the negative energy, the negatively charged atoms, everything in balance. It's the shadow of your soul. It's the part of you when you get home at night and you have the best intentions to make a salad. It's the part of you that says, no, I'm ordering a hamburger instead. It is the part of you when your friend walks in the door in a new outfit and she looks gorgeous and you want to say to her how stunning she is and how amazing that outfit is, but instead you say something like, hey, you look nice. And you feel a little bit of like, ooh, that feeling of envy, right? Your shadow self is the part of you that wakes up in the morning and doesn't do the things that it knows it's supposed to do because it's the negative energy in you. It's that part that's clinging on to you saying, I am a rebel and I'm different and I am going to revel in this negative energy for whatever reason that might be. We'll get into those reasons during our sessions together, which is super exciting. That does have an individual play for each of you with a more general, broader, worldly theme at the same time. But let's get back to your shadow and talking about your shadow. I love this quote from one of my favorite sites. I'll share more with you. Standing in front of the light in a dark place, the totality of the suppressed and unmanifested tendencies are potentialities within you. I'm going to reread that so you understand it. Standing in front of light in a dark place is your shadow, which is the totality of the suppressed and unmanifested tendencies and potentialities within you. So essentially what your shadow is the potential of light or darkness, of good or bad. It is your will, your free will, your choice. That is your shadow side, and you are in the center. So let's talk more about lucid dreaming and how that relates to your shadow side, how that relates to everything we've been talking about. Lucid dreaming is where you can connect not only with yourself, but with others. It is where you can connect with your divine soul, with the reflection of what's not working out in your life. It is where your conscious and your subconscious meet and together form your opinions of the world and what's going on, and show you how to move forward and how to reflect on your shadow and see what you need to bring into the light to dispel that darkness. Because we don't have to stay in the shadow. We can move our shadow and change our shadow and step into the light. It takes learning to get to know how to do that, and that's what I'm here for. So, lucid dreaming is the art of being conscious of one's dreams. Lucid dreaming is essentially this middle ground because you're between your conscious and your subconscious world, where your conscious mind can really get into your subconscious world and communicate with it, direct it, and shape it and form it. That's pretty cool. Not only can you do that during lucid dreaming, really get in touch with yourself, ask yourself questions, plan for the future, review the past, really reflect with your shadow side and yourself and figure out who you are and where you need to bring light to your life. That's what you can do through lucid dreaming for yourself. You can also connect with others through lucid dreaming, and this is one of my favorite things. It's fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, but let's get back to the details of how to get to lucid dreaming. There are essentially two different types of lucid dreaming. The first type of lucid dreaming is the type where you become aware within your dream. Most of us are aware of these types of dreams. We've suddenly been in a dream and we start to fly, or we really understand that it has something to do relating to our life and what's going on today. This type of lucid dreaming is fairly common, and a lot of us reach that state fairly easily where we dream and fall asleep at night and we have really nice dreams and we enjoy them because we've learned how to do this type of lucid dreaming, where within the dream, when we catch that we're dreaming, we're able to direct the dream. This isn't always related to positive dreams like flying. It can also be in negative things when you're grappling with some strong negative energies or things going through your life. But this type of lucid dreaming is essentially where you become aware within the dream. The second type of lucid dreaming is the type of dream where you control the dream from the beginning. It is going into the dream state with your consciousness still alert. Sounds a little bit tricky, right? Well, it is a little bit tricky, but not too hard. So there are essentially a few things that you can do to help get to that state very quickly and easily. The first thing that you can do, we touched on in my first video, which is prepare your room and your space. Get rid of all the clutter, make sure the lighting's right. A couple of key points on the lighting that are super important is make sure that your room is not too dark. You do not want a blackout, dark out room. That is not good for your energy. It's not good for lucid dreaming. You want a dark room, but not a blackout room. Have a little bit of light. The other one, I think a lot of us understand this concept already, is turn off your blue lights. Turn off your screens, power your stuff down a couple hours before bed. Spend some time decompressing from the energy that you've been absorbing all day through your screens. That's super important because there's so much energy and atoms and things going on that's being transmuted there. So you really need to power down as soon as you can and make a habit of it, because I think in general you're going to enjoy life more when you do that. So here's the next step. There are 3 different ways that we can get to lucid dreaming. The first one would be dream journaling. So this is where you, in the morning when you wake up or throughout the night as you wake up, grab your journal, write things down, everything you can remember about the dream, any key details, colors, terms, people, anything that you remember about the dream. You want to write that down as soon as you can. And then the next evening, or whenever it is you're ready to tackle it next, what you want to do is open your dream journal, and before you go to bed, review your dreams and contemplate on them. And of course, you can do this during the day too, but think about the things that were shown to you during the dream. You can do some research on what dream meanings are. I think that is can can be quite a quacky world to step into. So be careful with that big leap. But more than that, you can review your own life and follow your own intuition around what your dream meant and what that's trying to communicate to you and the obstacles that you might want to remove. So that next night, you're going to review those things and then ask yourself questions around them. Ask yourself how you can relieve this stress from your life. Ask yourself how you can achieve that next goal. Ask yourself, how to heal that relationship. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you can revisit that the next evening and then have kind of a jump start on your dream as you go into the night sleeping. That leads us into our next possible way to get to lucid dreaming. This one is a little bit tricky because there are some downsides. If you wake up in the middle of this and you can't get back to sleep and you have, say, work the next day, or people depending on you, this could be a difficult one because it's a little bit harder to control. So this is the WBTB method. It literally means wake back to bed technique. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to interrupt your dream cycle and then do something focused. So we have 3-hour cycles essentially where we go through REM. To break it down very simply, within this 3-hour time, the first hour you're powering down, the second hour you're in your max blissful dream state, and then the third hour is when you're coming back to consciousness and awakeness. So if you go to sleep and you set your alarm for roughly 4.5 hours, then what's going to happen is you're going to wake up in the middle of your REM state. That is your highest consciousness, subconsciousness, awareness level. That is like your dream good sleep, your blissful sleep right there. That's where you're going to wake up in the middle of during this method. And then what you want to do is tackle something super focused. So tackle, especially if you're trying to answer a question, whether it's about work or relationship or whatever it is, tackle that in a focused way during this time. So if it's work, maybe you're taking on your marketing this during this time in a focused way, and you're really writing out your business plan and your vision for the future or something like that. And you want to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes of focused time working on a project that is important, related to your dreams and where you're wanting to get to. So, or whatever your question is. So that's what you want to do in the middle of the night. You're going to wake up. You're going to work on something super focused relating to what it is that you want to dream about in lucid dreaming, and then you're going to go back to sleep. Again, that's where it gets tricky if you can't fall back asleep or it takes too long to get back to sleep. This is where this technique gets a little bit more difficult to hop into. We will, in like what I'm going to call hyper cycles of sleep and existence, get into this when you work with me one-on-one of how you can use these 3-hour cycles and use this technique to actually do some really freaking cool stuff in your life. But it's a little overboard for this video today. So we're going to get back on track. That's the second method that you can use to get into lucid dreaming. The third method, this is the one that I love. This is where I shine. And this is what I do. And the third method is called the mild technique. And the mild technique, I like this because it's like hypnosis and it's like the sessions that I do with you. It's very mild. I'm not digging deep into your mind and unburying all of your dead past. I don't want to do that. We will touch on some things to get you emotional and figure out what your blocks are and stuff like that. And we'll revisit some things in your past, but this type of therapy is not about having you so deep into hypnosis that you have zero control and I can destroy you. I don't ever want to do that. I won't ever take you there. Not the type of hypnosis that I do at all. What we do is a very mild hypnosis. This is essentially the type of hypnosis that brings you into dream state. This is an awareness and a communication with your consciousness. Once we get into this state, then we can ask you some very pointed questions about what you're actually struggling with and what you know you need to do to get there. And then we can program it into your habits and your action steps moving forward to make sure that you address that shadow side, that you address those things that are holding you back, that part of you that doesn't want to see the full success, that's afraid of the full light. Those are the things that we'll address. But This mild technique, the way that we get there, what this is essentially a combination of NLP and hypnosis. It is getting you into a conditioned state of awareness. It's taking you through very specific terminology and words and phrases that I use during the audios to get you into a very blissful sleep to begin with. And we do that through conditioning. We do that through the words that I use, the tone that I use, the hypnotic touch to all of it. We're also going to use some different music and things going on in the background, which are going to help you get to blissful sleep very, very quickly. And then from there, you can jump into lucid dreaming through the audios that I've developed for you. That's a very easy step to take. What I want to go back to, though, is the wonderful part of this is this mild technique is literally defined as where you will yourself into lucid dreaming. You will yourself into it. I think this is the most important kind. There is one other kind of way to get into lucid dreaming. It's a little bit crazier. I won't even go into it because I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. And if you know about this technique or have practiced it, you're already, probably beyond my level. So I have used it and practiced it, but I don't recommend it. And it's basically a hallucinogenic way to get there, where you use images and sounds and all kinds of things to essentially confuse your mind between dreams and reality. The thing about this technique is it can actually be really, really damaging if you're not practiced and you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a good scope on your own reality to begin with. This can really shake up your life in a lot of ways you may not be ready for. And that can have long-term effects too. So I don't recommend that way at all. Let's go back to the mild technique, which is what I'm going to use with you. The mild technique is essentially hypnosis. We're going to go through some certain phrases that are going to help you relax. It's very much like counting sheep. I'm going to essentially help you drain the excess energy from your body so that you can get rid of all the things that you've been frustrated about or holding on to. The mild surfacey things like throughout your day, your spouse that you're frustrated with, or the things that didn't go right at work, or the dinner that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Those kinds of things I'm going to help you literally just shut off within the first few moments. Those things disappear. And then we get into deeper levels of sleep and into your subconscious mind. We're going to use hypnosis and NLP as a way to bring your conscious mind and your subconscious mind together within a lucid dreaming state. It's really quite fun and very exciting. Once you're in that lucid dreaming state, then the coaching that you get to do with me and keeping up with this program is really going to help you understand how to maximize that state and take it to the next level and use this energy to clear things from your life. So, all this being said, I'm going to leave you with one tool that you can use, and then we're going to talk about how you can start to work with me. So this tool is really quite incredible. You can use it in a lot of different ways, and I'm sure that many of you, because you are such brilliant leaders, already know about this tool. It's something called Ho'oponopono. And the very basics behind this is it's 4 phrases. It is saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So I'm going to teach you how to use this both in your waking life and in your lucid dreaming. So when you say, I'm sorry, you're not necessarily taking blame for everything that happened, right? You're saying, I'm sorry that we live in a world in such a condition where negative energies and positive energies have come together in such a way that a disagreement has happened between the two of us. I'm sorry that whatever conditions of our world we've equally participated in, along with all other consciousness, to come to this point, and things are not where each of us would like them to be. That's what I'm sorry for. I'm not necessarily sorry. I'm not saying my point of view is wrong or your point of view is wrong. I'm saying I'm sorry that we have come to this indifference in the world. The next thing that you're saying is, please forgive me. Please forgive me for whatever I have done to bring us to this indifference, right? Whatever mistakes I've made, whatever things that I've done or said that have brought us to this point in time where we're having this conflict or we're having this conversation. I'm sorry that I took part in that. please forgive me, right? The third thing that you're saying is thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a reflection of myself. Thank you for being a reflection of my shadow side. Thank you for being a reflection of my light. Thank you for being here because you are a reflection of me and we are creating this world equally together and we get to grow equally and move forward together equally. So thank you for that. The third thing that you're saying is I love you. I love that you are divine light in this world. I love that you are created through divinity and we are equal because of that. I love that you're connecting with me right now. I love that you are a part of my life because I see, feel, and hear your light and your being. And I am so blessed to have you as part of my light and my being. That's like a very broad, whew, right? There's one way you just can say it. But let's take this down to a more specific way to apply it. Let's say you just had a fight with your spouse. You can say, honey, I am so sorry that we had this fight. A lot happened this week. I had a really stressful week. I know you had a stressful week. I know that the kids had a stressful week. I know all of these things. I'm sorry that all of those things happened that resulted in us coming to a miscommunication. Please forgive me for my part in that. Please forgive me for overreacting. Please forgive me for not communicating the way that I wish I could have. Please forgive me for being fallible, for being a human, for having to work through my shadow side and my own struggles. Forgive me for what I did to contribute to that moment in time that brought you pain. Then you can say, thank you. Thank you for being my spouse. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for allowing us to move on. Thank you for seeing a future with me. Thank you for whatever else it is that you can find to say thank you for. And then the fourth one, again, I love you. And go deep into that. That's where you can really hit home and score some big points, is tell them all of the reasons that you love them. I love you for being in my life. I love you for the way that you inspire me every day. I love you for the voice that you give to me and for the ears that you are to listen. I love you for the way that your light shines and the way that your eyes light up mine. Let's see, I could go on. That's how you can do that in your everyday life, right? And you can do this through a conversation, calling them on the phone, right? You can have it written out in front of you if you need to. You can call someone on the phone. You can write it in a letter or an email and a quick message. It can be as simple as those 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. You don't even have to say anything else. That'll work too. You can be that specific if you want to, or you can really elaborate and go deep into each one of those. You can repeat them multiple times for every single subject you can think of that you need to address within that relationship. You can use that tool. It's really fantastic in your waking life. Here's how it works in your lucid dreaming. This is one of my favorite things, and you can actually, through meditation and your waking life, connect with those who are dreaming. Whether they're lucid dreaming or not, it's essentially a control of will. It is willing your conscious life into the subconscious world, and when you learn how to control your will, you can essentially impose or show your will, show your intention to other people through their dreams. Have you ever had somebody call you and just say, hey, I had a really great dream about you last night, and you were thinking, oh yeah, I was thinking about them yesterday too? That's essentially what we're talking about. Before we had computers, before we had your iPhones and technology and all this crazy electronic stuff going on, we had will, we had communication, we had the ability to speak to each other through all space and time, through intuition and connection. And I believe that much of that has been diluted through our reliance on technology, essentially. It's a wonderful tool. It's an important tool to have and to use, and it's important to understand that we have this divine connection to each other within us, and through that divine connection, we can communicate with each other during the times that we are most vulnerable and open to receiving, which is during our sleep. And so, through lucid dreaming, if you're sleeping, let's say you're struggling through a relationship or something is going on, or there's someone you can't be with right now or communicate with right now that you really wish you could, you can communicate with them through their sleep. And the way to do this is through understanding lucid dreaming and understanding how to control your will and how to project that will. So that's where we get into really fun stuff. But on a very basic level, the way that you can use this is to take the principles that we've already learned, and before you go to bed at night, think about that person. Write down questions about that person. What would my relationship look like if this changed? What would my relationship look like if we healed this aspect? What do I need to say to this person to get the result that it is that I desire? How do I need to express myself in a way that's understood and communicated and appreciated? Those are the questions that you can start to ask yourself before you go to sleep. And then before you go to sleep, you can say this to that person that you're thinking about. Start asking and saying this before you go to bed. Use it as a tool to fall asleep too. Think about this person and say to them in your mind or out loud all of the reasons that you're sorry, all of the reasons that you would like them to forgive you, all of the reasons that you're grateful that they're in your life, and all of the reasons that you love them. As you say this when you're going to sleep at night, think about this person, really embody their light and bring them into your life and go through the memories vividly. And as you do this, if you do it the right way, and especially if you're listening to some of the audios that I'm going to be sharing with you, you can essentially relax into this relationship with this person, and you can help to relieve that stress and the tension and the vibration of energy that's repelling you from each other through lucid dreaming and divine sleep. So when you learn how to do that, that's when you can really learn how to communicate with not only other people, but with your own deepest fears. Because when we're having struggles in our relationships, that's really a struggle within ourself. I can think of several people in particular right now that I have a very difficult time communicating with, because I know that the thing I need to say to them is the thing I really need to say to myself. So that's a little bit deeper than I intended to go today, but I hope you stuck with me. I really trust that you got that, and I trust that you're going to use these things and put them to work in your own life, because when you do, you're going to see immediate results in how you feel, how connected you feel to other people, how connected you feel to your divine purpose and your reason for being here, and how connected you feel to your ability to take action steps and moving forward, which is super important, to actually see those dreams come into reality, which you can absolutely do no matter what that dream is. As we dive deeper, I will share some really fascinating information and stories with you about people who have seen something in their dreams and actually had it come true in real life, including myself. I've had several of those things come true, which is super exciting. So I'll share more of that with you coming up. Whew, this has been a long one, and I really appreciate you sticking with me. So here we go before the long weekend that I hope you really get to love and enjoy. I am going to give you one chance to sign up with me between now and July 5th. You can sign up on samchorus.com. Go to the button that says Transform Your View. Once you click on that pink button on the main website, it's going to take you to my scheduling page. On that page, you can schedule either a free 20-minute conversation if you want to get to know me a little bit better, or you can dive right into booking a session with me. The price on that session and the program that goes along with it is going to be changing on July 5th to reflect some new pricing and to include all of the bonuses and everything for you. So if you sign up between now and July 5th, you are going to get extra special bonuses, including a pair of our super exciting gummy bear earrings. These are created by our dear friend Jess, who's also created the wonderful fairy painting in the background here. Jess is an incredible artist and a good friend of mine. I'm super happy to have her on board here at Sam Chorus. And as a bonus, if you sign up between now and July 5th, you're going to get a pair of gummy bear earrings as part of your package, along with many other exciting bonuses. So don't hesitate, go and sign up now. In addition to that, you're going to get first pick at my calendar, and I only have so much time with each one of you. Each of our individual sessions do take 90 minutes. During that 90 minutes, we use hypnosis, NLP, and a series of psychology questions to dive deep into who you are, what you're struggling with, how to remove those blocks so you can melt all of that away and dissolve into blissful lucid dreaming and sleep every night. That's going to help you connect with divine, connect with your purpose, and move forward with full passion, fully ignited, because you are a spiritual being. You are divine. You are brimming with love, and you absolutely deserve to have every one of your dreams come true. So that's it. That's what I've got for you today. Go to the website right now and sign up if you want to get all the best bonuses and all the best pricing. Otherwise, I will see you again after this super exciting Independence Day weekend. So exciting, Independence Day. It's perfect time for this. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for sticking with me and tuning in. I hope this has brought you so much. I really love these tools. Remember to journal, get your lighting right, go to bed, use hypnosis and NLP, especially the audios that you can get from me for free to get into your blissful sleep and start lucid dreaming today. All right. I love you. I'll see you again soon. Have a good one. Bye.